What's good, everybody? It's your boy Tico on Blitz, back at it again with another video. And today we're going to be looking at one of the new Chinese tier 8s that was introduced into the game prior to this update, being the BZ-166. A vehicle that, in my opinion, is 10 times better than it is upon its PC counterpart because of the fact that the turret on PC, its stock turret, is better than its top turret. And here is the difference between them on Blitz. The stock turret is upwards of 174, while its top turret is a bit more, upwards of 180. And to start off on the armor profile of the vehicle, you could already see that the cheeks down here, the thing I don't like about any of these tanks whatsoever, upwards of 220 millimeters thick. You got two hatches on the roof ranging from 85 to 60, and then a full-on lower plate that you can outmatch, upwards of 110. Some of the troll spots that come to this tank, two cheeks on the side of the turret, ranging upwards of 230, and the full-on upper plate, upwards of 455. Loading APCRs in an IS-3, you're going to be able to cut through the entire turret, as it's going to be too weak for it to withstand against APCR shells. And here's what the tank looks like with the 7 degrees of gun depression. Although the cheeks are still visible within this range, it's only going to thicken them to a small margin. When I load premium, on the other hand, it's going to come down to a point to where these cheeks are going to be auto ricochets, apart from them being penetrations on flat ground. But these two cheeks right here on the side of the gun mantlet open up to a margin to where it can be cut through, ranging upwards of 240 on both sides. And here is what the side of the vehicle looks like. You have the side of the turret ranging upwards of 140 to 90, and the full-on side ranging upwards from 60 millimeters thick. And then you got the full-on rear, the back of the turret upwards of 65, and then the full-on back side upwards of 60. When I load HEs, there's only a small portion on the back right here, not the lower portion, but the upper portion that you can outmatch easily with HEs. Some of the other stats for the vehicle, it carries 2,143 damage per minute with an 11.20 second reload time, combined with 215 millimeters of standard pen, 270 on the premium, and 60 on the high explosive. Also combined with 400 HP damage dealt with standard, 360 on the premium, and 500 on the high explosive. Aiming time is 4.1 seconds with a dispersion of 0.326. And then maneuverability-wise, the tank goes at a top speed of 40 with a reverse of 15 with a somewhat reasonable power to weight of 14.5. And here we are in our first game. Let's see what they got in terms of heavies. They have an Action 10, a Luva, an IS-2 shielded along with that as well. Alright, so what we're going to do, make our way towards the right side over here and see how we can fare well. Now, I do have to mention, the dispersion and the aiming time don't really contribute to this tank when you're not fully aimed in. So you do got to kind of be careful to that, as your shells would be flying all over the place for the majority of shots that you take if your gun is not fully aimed in. So, we're going to continue moving on this way. See what we can spot. Keep on going over here. Got an Action 10 spotted right over there. No tanks are spotted through the crossing. That's good. So let's see how we can fare well. We're just going to go ahead. Oh, we see a couple tanks over towards this side right there. We're going to aim on in. We got the Action 10. There we go. 372 shot into his tank. We're going to reload once again. Hopefully get another shell into one of these enemies if they decide to keep on pushing upwards. So we got the IS-2 shielded right here. I don't know if he's going to come through this little opening gap right here, which it seems like he's not. So I do want to be careful, however, because some of their enemies could be pushing up over towards this ridge line right here. Oh, we got the T-49 spotted off towards the side. We're going to get an okay HE for 261. Didn't really fly to where exactly I was aiming, but I could care less as long as it did a pretty reasonable chunk of damage. Fortunately for a T-32, he does get bonked because the majority of enemies are spotted over here. So I want to see if I can get a quick slap into the Sioux right there for a pretty solid chunk of 394. We get a bounce from one of the enemies. I think it was the Swindler. So I'm just going to stay put right here and see what continues to push on up. We got the Luva spotted right there. Want to see if I can get a... I tried to go for his little turret cheek right there, but that's alright. So we're just going to continue moseying on back right here. Going to wait for this Luva to see if he's going to overpoke once again. Got the IS-2 shielded spotted right there. We're going to get a quick... or not. You can already see what I'm talking about. When you're moving back and your reticle is not fully aimed in just like that, your shells tend to fly all over the place or even on the ground. So we're just going to continue to see what we can do against these enemies. Well, he does get clear. We got the Swindler right there. We're able to get a nice shot into him. I don't know if my team is going to support me whatsoever, as I am kind of a predicament. Luva's going to continue to mosey on up, but he misses his shell, which gives me the opportunity to get a shot into his lower plate right there. Looks like that IS-2 shielded is going to move on back. So we're just going to angle ourselves. He gets a pen into me, unfortunately. So there we go. We are able to get another slap into the Luva right there. We're just going to continue to hold him to the best of our ability right there. Ooh, the Swindler's over there. All right, so he does bounce us in the process. So I'm going to get a nice shot into this underside of his turret ring right there. I don't want that Swindler to keep on hitting me, so I'm just going to keep getting in a face hug with this Luva right here. So we're going to aim on into his turret once again and finish him off. All right, that is good. So I don't want this Swindler to continue to hit me, so I'm just going to stay right here in this position right now. You guys get hit by the VK, which is good. So we're going to reload once again, and he misses his shell, which gives me the opportunity to finish him off. All right, so that is a very solid, or what used to be bad, and upon my terms, turned out to a positive outcome. So now this IS-2 shielded is the only enemy remaining. So he's probably going to tunnel our Super Hellcat, which gives me another opportunity to get another shell into him. CS bounces him, so nice. We got a 379 clear into him, and we were able to break past the 3,000 damage mark, which is pretty solid. 3,463, we were able to block 490, destroy 3, pulling out a second class along with that, and putting up pretty good stats in the end. And here we are in game number 2. Let's see what they got in terms of heavies. And a Mil 1, another Luva, Object 252U, and a Black Prince. Alright, so let's see, where is my team going? Looks like it's going to be a half-on-half scenario. So I guess I'm just going to head over to the left side and help support my mediums over here, as the rest of my team is going to head over towards the right side. I don't know what the heck their idea is trying to go over there. So let's see how we fare well and see if the majority of tanks are going to be spotted over towards the left or the right side. Because if they're spotted towards the right, we're just going to go ahead and peck them off to the best of our ability, move on in, and see if we can get the extra clears in on them. Alright, so what I'm going to do, just poke on out right there. Oh, some of the enemies are already spotted towards the right, which gives us the opportunity to move on up and peck them off if they try to cross over towards the opening right here on the A side. So, got a J Panther moving on up, it looks like. So let's see. We got a Luva moving on up. Are we able to get a slap into him? Yes, we are, for 365 damage. We're going to stay put in this spot right here, which is fairly solid. Let's see. We could barely see the roof of that J Panther right there. Or not. That was just the Luva's gun. So, TS5's moving on up. Fortunately, that shell went low. So, you know what? I'm just going to go in and try to help my teammates over here. I'm in a heavy tank. I'm not really supposed to be camping. That's what a lot of players would assume. So I'm just going to continue to move on upwards. Captures B base while at it. One of our guys does get cleared in the process, which is not ideal. Alright, the Mil 1's going to continue moving on up. Oh, he does spot me. I don't know if he's going to pen me or not. Well, he gets a bounce onto me, which is solid. So I just want to move right here and see how I can fare well against these enemies. Alright. So I do want to be careful right here. Our team is getting outnumbered pretty quick as another tank gets cleared. So I want to hurry up and clear this J Panther right there. Fortunately, I wasn't able to get the clear on him, but I was still able to get a reasonable shot into him. So I'm just going to bail on out right down below right here. We got the Black Prince spotted right there, so I'm going to put on my fast reload, get a quick shell into him, continue to back on up, as I don't want that Mil 1 to tunnel me and do a reasonable chunk of damage into my vehicle. Alright, well, it looks like some of their enemies were brought down a substantial amount of their health, which gives me the opportunity to move on up just a little more. I don't want that. Oh, there's the TS5. We're able to get a clear into him, which is good. Want to keep on moving forward. I don't want that Mil 1 to tunnel me, so we're just going to keep on moving forward. We're going to focus in on these enemies. Mil 1 is not moving, which is good. Alright, so we got the Black Prince right over here to the left. We also got the Object 252U. Are we able to spot him? We are. And get a nice shot for 439 into U. Mil 1's going to continue to move on up. So here is the Black Prince right here. We're just going to keep on moving forward right here. Are we able to get a finishing slap into this guy? Which we are. That is good. Alright, Object 252U is right here now. So, I'm going to reload once again and get another nice shell into this guy right here. There we go, 408 shot, and we got the Mil 1 right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this guy in a face hug right here. He gets a shell into me. I could care less. So we're just going to keep on going in a face hug with this guy right here as we are able to outmatch him, especially for his turret. So he gets another shell into me. I could care less. So we're going to reload once again. I don't know if we're going to get the clear on him. I could care less. So, oh, surprisingly enough, we were able to get the clear on him. That was oddly a fascinating way to end a battle, if I'm not going to be mistaken. So there we go. Another victory in the history books. Able to do just shy of 3,000 damage in this one. Pull out another second class, block 960, kill another 3, and of course put on some pretty solid stats once again. I would have to say that the top turret on this thing being better than the stock turret, differentiating from PC, where its stock turret is better than its top turret, it really just makes the tank great whatsoever. Blitz, on the other hand, I would have to say is fairly solid. However, I would have to say the only downside is the aiming factors when it comes to this tank's gun, especially when your aiming reticle is not aimed in at the fullest. But other than that, I would have to say the tank is fairly solid and that it is absolutely mandatory that this tank should receive more attention out upon decent players' perspectives. Hopefully you guys did end up enjoying today's video. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And make sure to turn on those bell notifications so you'll be notified whenever I upload any new videos. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all.